All right, getting ready for another ACC game. Got to go on the road this week. Great challenge. Another opportunity for us to grow from last week. We got to continue to, again, be really, really good as far as our communication. We're going to have to be great finishers and look for opportunities to find ways to get the ball back. So we've got to win situational football. We've got to force some turnovers.
Jason Prevard, another big stop for him at the game of inches at the end. When you guys recruited him, he didn't have much experience at nickel. What did you see in the film that you thought, okay, we can slot him there?
You know, he was a young man that, again, could play man coverage. He had great physicality. He showed range and ball skills, and those are the attributes that you have to have at that spot. He's done a tremendous job of learning the intricacies of that spot because at times it's a corner, at times it's a safety, sometimes it's a backer. And so he's embraced that role, done a tremendous job, and made a lot of plays.
It felt like he got more comfortable as the season went on. When do you feel like the light kind of came on and that he got the most comfortable with it?
Yeah, I think, you know, from the beginning, he's done a really, really nice job. And we saw it in spring ball. He'd made a ton of plays. We saw it in fall camp, made a ton of plays. And I just think just as a young man that has continued to take advantage of all the resources and support around him, you know what, he continued to play his best ball because, you know what, he's a team-first player and then, you know, really unselfish. And then the second piece is, you know what, he's really talented. And he's got a ton of confidence, and he's got that kind of DB, you know, irrational confidence that you look for in a corner.
What was your vantage point of that last 2-point play, and did you think Prevard would come up with that tackle?
A game of inches. I was, you know, standing on the sideline, and goodness, I saw E-Man go down and would have liked to see him wrap that leg. But again, that's what effort gets you, is the opportunity to put the ball on the ground. Always a game of inches, and goodness, we're fortunate that the ball landed where it did.
Say to win with defense, you guys have had a couple of those wins where the defense finishes the job. What's that feeling like for you when you see your players come through in the final moment that decides the game?
It's stressful. Goodness, you know what? But it's you know, it's never just one play, or it's never the final play. It's a culmination of that, and that's you know, our job is, you know, we got to continue to even do a better job as far as creating more possessions for the offense. You know, creating short fields. And goodness, you know what, the opportunity for us to continue to build, because as we know, the opponents that we'll face here in November, super talented groups, you know, a bunch of bowl teams and a bunch of folks that are playing for a ton.
We bring up Mitchell Melton almost every week just because of his play. He picked up his first interception. He seemed to be overjoyed finally getting one after batting them out. What have you seen from his growth coming in, his conditioning, working to playing more reps, and also just getting more comfortable playing with the club and just kind of adjusting to that?
Yeah, Mitchell's done a great job because he's embraced his leadership role. And he's earned that leadership role through the way that he's worked. And then again, the other piece is, again, by the nature of him being really productive, it allows him to, you know, set an example. He's done a tremendous job of again, being a great learner. Being able to do a bunch of different things, play a bunch of different spots for us. And you can see his athleticism as a high school linebacker show up when we get to drop him maybe a few times. He's a really good pass rusher too, but if he can do a bunch of different things, it helps us defensively.
The Cal quarterback, what type of challenges he present, especially in this passing game?
Yeah, I mean, super live arm. You know, I was mentioning to our unit, you know, he reminds me a lot of Jordan Love when I faced him at Utah State, as far as big, tall, long, huge arm, can beat you with his feet, but can extend plays and get the ball downfield. They do a lot schematically with formations. They do a tremendous job in their run game. Talented up front, and they got good skill around them, and so a huge challenge.
So second straight week, you guys are seeing a lefty quarterback. Is there anything different you do defensively when you see somebody throwing from the other arm?
You know, unless you have a lefty, which we don't,
right.
You know what, there's nothing you can do. I mean, it's Cam Butler, or, you know, one of our coaches, when he's doing the walkthrough, he's like using that left hand. It's not pretty, but at least trying to make sure that we're matching the hand. We're doing some of those things that is different mechanics-wise, and obviously there's sometimes some different play series that you prepare for depending on what hash it's on.
You guys got a long flight coming up. What are your plans on the plane?
I'm going to watch more film, and we're going to get ready for Cal.
You guys have 8 different defensive linemen who have registered at least one sack this season. Was that the idea with how many different D-line guys you brought in the portal? I guess how long has it taken you guys to figure out the right rotations and the right time to switch guys up front?
Yeah, I think for the second question with regards to our rotation, that changes every week, and those reps are earned as far as again way the guys have worked, what their production looked like last week, the way that they practice, the condition of as far as what their body are, because that's the reality. It's a fast and physical sport, and you know what? It's a beautiful thing to see a bunch of guys be productive, and that's the expectation. You know what? It needs to be more than 8 that have sacks, that register sacks, and when you have an opportunity to get guys in there, goodness, I tell you what, you bring yourself some juice on defense.
Jameer Carter and James Jackson were voted captains by their teammates. What are your thoughts on those two wearing the captain's patch?
Yeah, what a tremendous honor for those two young men to be honored by their teammates. It's frankly a product of the work that they've put in, their love for the University of Virginia, and ultimately as far as just their passion for, again, as far as making the ones that are around them better. And you know what, if you have that type of leadership, that ends up presenting itself, and I know it's a neat honor for both those guys, but no two guys are more deserving than those two.
You've always talked about Antonio Clary and his warrior-like mentality and what he's brought to this team. He had his first interception since coming back from his injury. How good was seeing that and just seeing his development and be able to play 60 snaps, the most he's had?
It's awesome, and it's, you know what, as far as what it shows up is, again, when all of a sudden it's like, all right, my opportunity is there, is to be able to capitalize, and it's a great example for all of us, is that, you know what, sometimes, you know what, you may have some adversity. And he's a great example of that, but hey, how do you approach the adversity and how do you overcome it? And he's a guy that has done that consistently, and it's awesome to see him play high-level football.
Coach, did you learn anything watching the way Bill Belichick set up his defense last weekend and how he shifted during the game? I just wonder if you picked up anything from that maybe you could apply to the Cavs going forward.
Yeah, I mean, we're always learning from each other. Again, when you go against good opponents, you get an opportunity to try to take maybe something from somebody else. And so I know that, goodness, they're a well-coached unit down there, and we're always looking for ideas, not only from that staff, but from staffs across the country.
Kamak had that big bowl game last year when he was at UNLV against Cal. Do you remember that tape at all when you guys were recruiting him out of the portal?
Yeah, I mean, there's a big reason that we thought that, hey, he'd be a great fit here, is because he was super productive. He used his length. He showed up around the quarterback, and he was a great run stopper. And you know what? I know that, goodness, he's excited to go back to that time zone. You know what? He'll have a bunch of folks that can fly up there from Arizona. It'll be neat for him to be on the West Coast.
You guys brought in some portalers like Hunter Osborne from very reputable programs like Alabama. As we get into the end of the regular season here, how huge is it for those guys who have had that championship experience?
Yeah, I think any championship experience is valuable, but ultimately it's about the way that guys work, and the one you mentioned, and all the guys that we had an opportunity to get not only in the portal but also in high school. They've been tremendous workers, and every day they come and they have that humility to understand that we've got to continue to get better. And if we settle for what maybe we did last week, or we settle for maybe what happened, you know what, we're gonna get our tails beat. And so, you know what, all these guys again, they end up having championship pedigree by the way that they work.
So earlier in the season, Rickert was in the backfield disrupting everybody's schemes and plans. In the last couple of weeks, it seems to have tailed off. Are teams game planning for him? And are they using other receivers to chip on him some? I just, you can't follow it all, but I mean, it seems like something that's happening.
Yeah, no, Dan had a sack last week. I don't know. He's been productive. He's been all over the place, and sometimes it's a little bit. It's, hey, what do we call? And the other piece is, as far as, again, where they running the ball. But goodness, he's done a tremendous job, and he's going to play great football in November.